Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have the event for Monster Jam sign-up series number 222. So for this sign-up series, I got a total of 72 sign-ups, which was 2 more than the previous sign-up series, which had 70. So we slightly increased the lineup by 2 trucks, which is pretty cool. So without further ado, let's take a look at all of the races. So we're going to kick things off with the Series 21 Superman taking on the Series 14 Black Pearl. And then we're going to go down here. As always, I like to show the races up close just so you guys can see who you're taking on in round number 1. And obviously, I don't post Field of Trucks videos anymore or anything like that. But down in the description below, as well as the comments, I will have a list of the entire Field of Trucks. So if you don't know which truck you're in, just go check out that list down below so you can see which truck you are in. But getting down to the bottom here, these are the final 3 races right here. So round number 1 is going to end off with Monster Mutt Poodle taking on the Nitro Max D. So those are all of the races. Now, I also did want to point out that for whatever reason, for the second sign-up series in a row, actually, Lucas Stabilizer was a very popular truck to pick. So I just wanted to point out which one is which because there's almost no difference, especially between these 2 right here, which just so happened to be in back-to-back races because all these races were completely randomized too, so that's kind of funny. But this one right here has the BKT printing on the tires, so this is the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer. And then this one right here is the original one from Series 29. And then in the third to last race of the round here, this one right here is the Series 34 Lucas Stabilizer. So I just wanted to point that out so you guys knew which one is which. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. This event should be pretty fun. Series 221 was fun, and I expect no different here. So without further ado, we're going to kick things off with Superman taking on Black Pearl. So sign-up Series 222 is underway. And the first win is going to go to Superman. Next up, we have Velociraptor taking on the Series 33 Wreckreation. And it's going to go to Wreckreation. Next up, we have the Ghost Crew Gravedigger taking on the Series 15 Maximum Destruction. And it's going to go to the Ghost Crew Gravedigger. Next up, we have Thor taking on the World Finals 21 Avenger. And a great race, it's going to go to Thor. Next up, we have the Series 34 Crustacean taking on the 2024 Fire Megalodon. And Crustacean rolls over, but it looks like he is going to take the win. Next up, we have the BKT Earthshaker taking on the Reveal the Steel Avenger. And it's going to go to the BKT Earthshaker. Next up, we have Red Jester taking on Texas from 2020. And it's going to go to Texas with the come from behind win. Next up, we have the Pickup Bakugan Dragonoid taking on Hooked. And it's going to go to Bakugan Dragonoid. Next up, we have the 2024 Ice Bakugan Dragonoid taking on the Series 1 Iron Man. And, ooh, a great race, and it is going to go to Iron Man. Next up, we have the 2024 Ice Earthshaker taking on the Orange Bad Company. And it's going to go to Bad Company with the best run of the night. Next up, we have a Gravedigger battle between the 25th Anniversary from Series 34 taking on the Zombie Invasion. And it's going to go to the 25th Anniversary. Next up, we have ThunderROARus taking on the Mercury Monster Mutt Dalmatian. And it's going to go to Monster Mutt Dalmatian with an amazing run. Next up, we have the Series 16 Soldier Fortune taking on Rage. And a pretty good race, but it's going to go to Soldier Fortune. Next up, we have the 2020 Florida taking on the defending championship truck, the Black Widow Avenger. And a great race all the way down to the end. Oh my god, I don't even know, man. Those tires are like completely dead even. That's crazy. We're going to have to do a rerun. All right, so we have switched up the lanes, and here goes the rerun. And this time it's going to go to Florida, so the Black Widow Avenger will not win back-to-back. Next up, we have a chase piece battle between the Ride Truck BKT and the Ghost Crew Soldier Fortune. And it's going to go to the Ghost Crew Soldier Fortune. Next up, we have the Flash taking on Bad Habit. And it's going to go to Bad Habit. Next up, we have the Series 14 Joker taking on the Series 29 Double Packs Wreckreation. And it's going to go to Wreckreation over the Joker. Next up, we have the Champion Series Earthshaker taking on the Nitro El Toro Loco. And it's going to go to Nitro El Toro Loco. Next up, we have the Mercury Monster Mutt from the Series 27 Doubles taking on the Overcharged Avenger. And it's going to go to the Overcharged Avenger. Next up, we have Bog Hog taking on the 2020 California. And it's going to go to Bog Hog. He was blocking California pretty much the entire time, and that's how he gets the win. Next up, we have the Purple Gravedigger the Legend taking on Black Cat. And it's going to go to Black Cat. Next up, we have OCD Meltdown taking on Cyclops. And it's going to go to... Oh, I did not mean to zoom in like that. I was just trying to tap the camera to focus it, but that's going to go to Cyclops. Next up, we have Carnage Asada taking on the Series 9 Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. And it's going to go to Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Next up, we have the Ride Truck Gravedigger taking on Santa's Monster Sleigh. And, wow, another great race, and it's going to go to Santa's Monster Sleigh. Next up, we have the 2024 Fire Gravedigger taking on the S10 Avenger. And it's going to go to the S10 Avenger. Now, I know normally if a truck hits my shelf, I would normally do a rerun, but Fire Gravedigger barely hit it, honestly. Like, he was already going so slow, and the S10 Avenger went all the way over there and ironically hit the Nomad Avenger, so I'm going to count it. Either way, I think it was pretty obvious that the S10 Avenger was going to win, so he will move on. Next up, we have Boneyard Gravedigger taking on the Neon Sparkle Smash. And it's going to go to the Boneyard Gravedigger. Next up, we have Spider-Man taking on the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer. And it's going to go to Lucas Stabilizer. Next up, we have Lunatic taking on the Series 29 Lucas Stabilizer. And it's going to go to Lunatic with a block. Next up, we have Fuel Academy taking on the Showtime Black El Toro Loco. And it's going to go to the Showtime Black El Toro Loco. Next up, we have the 2024 Fire Zombie taking on the Series 16 Son of a Digger. And it's going to go to Son of a Digger. Next up, we have the Raw Crustacean taking on Ice Cream Man from Series 3 of the Doubles. And it's going to go to Ice Cream Man. Next up, we have the Neon Blue Thunder taking on the Series 1 Captain America. And it's going to go to Captain America. Next up, we have the World Finals 6 Avenger taking on the Inverse Gravedigger. And Avenger rolls over. That's going to give the win to the Inverse Gravedigger. Next up, we have the Series 34 Lucas Stabilizer taking on the Inverse Monster Mutt Dalmatian. And it's going to go to Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Stabilizer did not hit the shelf, so Dalmatian is moving on. Next up, we have the Phased Out Zombie taking on the Overcharged Blue Thunder. And it's going to go to the Overcharged Blue Thunder. Next up, we have the final race of round number 1, which is going to be between Monster Mutt Poodle and the Nitro Max D. And it's going to go to Nitro Max D as Monster Mutt Poodle tumbles over. Alrighty guys, so that officially concludes round number 1. Here's a look at all of the matchups for round number 2. Obviously, we didn't need a fast loser because there are 36 trucks remaining. And then after this, we're going to be going down to 18 trucks. So the next round will not need a fast loser either. But without further ado, we are going to kick things off with Superman from Series 21 taking on Wreckreation from Series 33. So round number 2 is underway. And it is going to go to Superman. Next up, we have the Ghost Crew Gravedigger taking on Thor. And it is going to go to Thor. Next up, we have Crustacean from Series 34 taking on the BKT Earthshaker. And it's going to go to Crustacean. Next up, we have the 2020 Texas taking on the Pickup Bakugan Dragonoid. And a great race all the way down to the end. Oh my god, other than the one race that we had in round 1 that was a dead even tie, this is definitely the closest race of the night. I don't even know how we're going to call this. They are slightly angled to the left. So if I were to go straight down based off the way the trucks are angled, it looks like it is Texas, but man, that's tough because if you turn the camera slightly this way, it almost looks like Dragonoid. But like the shelf, you can tell from like the little lines in the shelf going straight across that they're angled a little bit. So I think I'm going to have to give it to Texas, but man, that was a close race. Next up, we have Iron Man from Series 1 of the Marvel Trucks taking on the Orange Bad Company. And it is going to go to Iron Man. Next up, we have the Series 34 25th Anniversary Gravedigger taking on the Mercury Monster Mutt Dalmatian. And a great race. It's going to go to Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Next up, we have the Series 16 Soldier Fortune taking on the 2020 Florida. And, oh man, they both run into the shelf after they collided. And honestly, I think I'm going to count that. Just the way the trucks were going, I'm pretty sure even if the shelf wasn't there, Florida was going to win. But that was a pretty interesting race, so Florida will move on. Next up, we have the Ghost Crew Soldier Fortune taking on Bad Habit. And it's going to go to Bad Habit. Next up, we have Wreckreation from the Series 29 Doubles taking on the Nitro El Toro Loco. And it's going to go to Wreckreation with a block. Next up, we have the Overcharged Avenger taking on Bog Hog. And it's going to go to Bog Hog. Next up, we have Black Cat taking on Cyclops. And it's going to go to Cyclops. Next up, we have the Series 9 Great Clips Mohawk Warrior taking on Santa's Monster Sleigh. And it's going to go to Santa's Monster Sleigh. Next up, we have the S10 Avenger taking on the Boneyard Gravedigger. And it's going to go to the S10 Avenger, defeating the Sign-Up Series 220 Championship truck, the Boneyard Gravedigger. Next up, we have the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer taking on Lunatic. And it's going to go to Lucas Stabilizer. Next up, we have the Showtime Black El Toro Loco taking on the Series 16 Son of a Digger. And it's going to go to Black El Toro Loco. Next up, we have Ice Cream Man from Series 3 of the Doubles taking on Captain America from Series 1 of the Marvel Trucks. And it is going to go to Captain America. Next up, we have a battle of the Inverse Trucks from 2019. We have Gravedigger taking on Monster Mutt Dalmatian. And, oh, an amazing race. The trucks collide together, and it's going to go to Gravedigger. Next up, we have the final race of round number 2, which is going to be between the Overcharged Blue Thunder and the Nitro Max D. And it is going to go to the Nitro Max D. Alrighty, guys, so that concludes round number 2. Now it is time for round number 3, and here is a look at all of the races. Now, there are 18 trucks remaining, so in the next round, we will need a fast loser race because 18 would go down to 9. So we will need a fast loser to make it 10, and then in that round, I will also go over the field of trucks. So without further ado, we're going to kick things off with the Series 21 Superman taking on Thor. So round number 3 is underway. And it is going to go to Thor. Next up, we have the Series 34 Crustacean taking on the 2020 Texas. And it is going to go to Texas. Next up, we have Iron Man from Series 1 of the Marvel Trucks taking on the Mercury Monster Mutt Dalmatian. And it is going to go to the Mercury Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Next up, we have the 2020 Florida truck taking on Bad Habit. And it's going to go to Florida. Next up, we have Wreckreation from the Series 29 Doubles taking on Bog Hog. And it is going to go to Bog Hog. Next up, we have Cyclops taking on Santa's Monster Sleigh. And it is going to go to Cyclops. Next up, we have the S10 Avenger taking on the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer. And it's going to go to Lucas Stabilizer. Next up, we have the Showtime Black El Toro Loco taking on Captain America from Series 1 of the Marvels. And it's going to go to Captain America. Next up, we have the final race of round number 3 until the fast loser race, and it is a classic Gravedigger and Max D battle. We have the Inverse Gravedigger and the Nitro Max D. And it is going to go to the Inverse Gravedigger. So that concludes round number 3, but there are 9 trucks in the next round. So now it is time for the fast loser race. And honestly, in that round, there weren't really that many races that were like super close, but I feel like these 2 trucks were probably the closest of all the losers. So these are the 2 trucks that I have brought back. In a Marvel versus DC battle, we have Iron Man from Series 1 of the Marvel trucks taking on the Series 21 Superman. And they collide and both tumble over. That was kind of crazy, but let's take a look at the aerial view to see who won. and it looks like it's going to be Iron Man. So that concludes round number 3, and now it is time for round number 4. These are the 10 trucks remaining. Now, normally I would wait until the quarterfinals to go over the field of trucks, but with 10 trucks remaining, obviously there's never going to be 8, because after this it'll be 6 after the fast loser. So I'm just going to go over the field of trucks right now. So let's do it. So inside of Thor, we have Savage Boy 84. Inside of Texas from 2020, we have Dallas Videos. Inside of the Mercury Monster Mutt Dalmatian, we have Kasu Toya. Inside of the 2020 Florida, we have MJK2 Real. Inside of Bog Hog, we have Mark Galloway. Inside of Cyclops, we have Monster Jam Fan 25. Inside of the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer, we have Diecast Mayhem. Inside of Captain America from Series 1 of the Marvel Trucks, we have Zack Attack 2002. Inside of the Inverse Gravedigger, we have Monster Jam Fanatic. And inside of Iron Man from Series 1 of the Marvel Trucks, we have Nick Morghees. So that is the field of trucks, guys, for the 10 trucks that are remaining. Like I said, there will be a fast loser in this round. So out of the 5 trucks that lose, 2 of those 5 will get a chance to come back as a fast loser. So if you lose, don't click off the video just yet, because there is a pretty good chance that you could come back as a fast loser. So without further ado, we're going to kick things off with Thor taking on Texas. So round number 4 is underway. And the first truck to move on is going to be Texas. Next up, we have the Mercury Monster Mutt Dalmatian taking on Florida. And Monster Mutt Dalmatian rolls over, and it's going to go to Florida. Next up, we have Bog Hog taking on Cyclops. And Cyclops, I guess he did just barely hit Fire Gravedigger, but like, I mean, Bog Hog won that by a lot, so I think I'm going to count it. I'm going to give the win there to Bog Hog. Next up, we have the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer taking on Captain America from Series 1 of the Marvels. And it is going to go to the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer. Next up, we have the Inverse Gravedigger taking on Iron Man from Series 1 of the Marvels. And a great race, but it is going to go to Iron Man. So 5 trucks have moved on to round number 5, and it is time for the fast loser race. The 2 trucks that I have selected that I feel like were the closest out of the losers are Inverse Gravedigger and Captain America, so let's see who's going to win. It is going to go to the Inverse Gravedigger. And just like that, we are down to 6. Let's go over the field of trucks. Inside of Texas, we have Dallas Videos. Inside of Florida, we have MJK2 Real. Inside of Bog Hog, we have Mark Galloway. Inside of the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer, we have Diecast Mayhem. Inside of Iron Man from Series 1 of the Marvel Trucks, we have Nick Morghees. And inside of the Inverse Gravedigger, we have Monster Jam Fanatic. So 2 things to note here. The first one being that we have 2 state trucks going head-to-head right there. For some reason, the state trucks just always manage to be some of the faster trucks on my channel. And the second thing is, Iron Man and Inverse Gravedigger are actually going to be rematching from the previous round, because Inverse Digger came back as the fast loser, so that should be a good race as well. And the final thing to say before we get this started is the 3 losers in this round will all come back in a triple threat fast loser race to get the final spot in the semifinals. So don't click off this video yet if you lose, because you will be coming back. So without further ado, let's see who is going to be the first person to move on to the semifinals. Round number 5 is underway. And Florida, I think, is going to get the win. Texas was in the lead, but rolled over. And it looks like just barely that tire of Florida is sticking out, and Florida is going to move on. Next up, we have Bog Hog taking on the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer. And it is going to go to Lucas Stabilizer. Next up, we have the final race until the fast loser race, which is going to be the rematch between Iron Man and Inverse Gravedigger. And this time, it is going to go to the Inverse Gravedigger. All right, guys, so Florida, the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer, and the Inverse Gravedigger have all moved on to the semifinals. And now it is time for the triple threat fast loser race. We have Texas, Iron Man, and Bog Hog. Let's see who is going to be the final person in the semifinals. And they all go crazy, or at least 2 out of the 3 did. Bog Hog, I don't even know what that was. Iron Man rolled over to here, and then Texas had one of the best runs of this entire sign-up series, so Texas is going to move on. And now we are down to the semifinals of Monster Jam sign-up series 222, so let's go over the field of trucks. Inside of Florida, we have MJK2 Real. Inside of the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer, we have Diecast Mayhem. Inside of the Inverse Gravedigger, we have Monster Jam Fanatic. And inside of Texas, we have Dallas Videos. So as far as these trucks, Florida and Lucas Stabilizer have 0 wins, both looking for their first. Inverse Gravedigger, however, is a one-time championship truck. It won just 4 series ago in Series 218, looking for its second ever win. And Texas is actually a 2-time championship truck. It won Series 205 and 213. Now that brings me to the drivers, because Dallas Videos is a one-time championship truck in that same exact truck, Texas. He's trying to do it again to win his second ever event in the same exact truck. Now, the only other person out of the other 3 that has won before is Monster Jam Fanatic. However, he is a 2-time champion, but his last win was Sign Up Series 66, which I did over 8 years ago. It was May of 2016. We are now in October of 2024. It's been almost 8.5 years since Monster Jam Fanatic won. He won Series 22 and Series 66. So he's looking for his 3rd ever win. And then again, MJK2 Real and Diecast Mayhem are looking for their 1st ever wins. So that is the field of trucks, and as well as how many wins each driver and truck has. So without further ado, we're going to kick things off with Florida taking on Lucas Stabilizer. So who is going to go to the championship race? Is it going to be MJK2 Real or Diecast Mayhem? It is going to be MJK2 Real in Florida. Congratulations, man. You are moving on to the championship race. And as for Diecast Mayhem in the Champion Series Lucas Stabilizer, you were so close, man, to getting your 1st ever victory here today. You still made it to the final 4 out of 72 trucks, which is still really good. But better luck next time, man, in Sign Up Series 223. So we have an opportunity here to see a championship race with 2 state trucks. Florida has already moved on to the championship race, and Texas is looking to do the same. But Inverse Gravedigger is also a very fast truck, so this is going to be an interesting race. Who is going to meet MJK2 Real in the championship race? Monster Jam Fanatic or Dallas Videos? It is going to be Monster Jam Fanatic in the Inverse Gravedigger. Congratulations, man. You are moving on to the championship race. And I am so sorry to Dallas Videos. You were so close, man, to getting your 2nd ever win on my channel in the same exact truck that you won in just 9 sign-up series ago. But better luck in sign-up series 223. And now we are down to the championship race of Monster Jam sign-up series 222. So inside of Florida, we have MJK2 Real. That driver and truck have never won before on my channel. And inside of the Inverse Gravedigger, we have Monster Jam Fanatic. So again, Inverse Gravedigger is a one-time championship truck, which won just 4 sign-up series ago in Series 218. And then the driver is Monster Jam Fanatic. Again, a 2-time champion, but however, has not won in 8.5 years. In fact, let me put the clip of the last time that Monster Jam Fanatic ever won, just to give you guys an idea of how long it's been.
Who will win Sign Up Series 66? Will it be Monster Jam Fanatic in the dump truck or MJ Fan Guardian and Instigator? And it is Monster Jam Fanatic in the dump truck.
So yeah, guys, as you saw right there, it has been quite some time that he's been looking for his 3rd ever win. Can he finally get it done here, or is MJK2 Real going to get his 1st ever win? Let's find out. The winner of Monster Jam Sign-Up Series 222 is going to be none other than Monster Jam Fanatic in the Inverse Gravedigger. Has done it. I cannot believe this right now. One of my best friends. I've met him like 4 or 5 times in real life. We've actually like hung out so many times. One of my best friends, and he finally gets it done after 8.5 years. His last win, he was 11 years old. He is now 20 years old. He was 11, and now he's 20. I just cannot get over it. He has finally won after 8.5 years. So many moments of getting so close in the past, and he has finally done it. Congratulations, man. You are finally a 3-time champion on my channel. That is very, very well deserved. And as for MJK2 Reel, man, those state trucks are always so fast for whatever reason. Texas lost in the semifinals, and now Florida lost in the championship race. I'm so sorry to you, man. You were so close to getting that win. I really thought you might have had it there, but better luck in Sign-Up Series 223 to you, bro. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this sign-up series. I cannot believe that after all this time, Monster Jam Fanatic is finally a 3-time champion. That is just incredible. And the Inverse Gravedigger joins a long list of Spin Master trucks on my channel now with 2 wins. It'll be interesting to see if he can ever get a 3rd, though, because only 1 truck on my channel for Spin Master has won 3 times, which is the Monster Mutt Dalmatian from Series 6 of the doubles. That's the only 3-time championship Spin Master truck on my channel. Inverse Digger has 2 now. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. So if you guys enjoyed, as always, make sure you smash that thumbs up. And for whatever reason, if you guys are not yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you guys do so, because we are currently on the road to 17,000 subscribers. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.